The negotiations between Jufei, Ziyu, and Takehiko ended up unhappy. When the brother and sister left Ito Company, Limited, Takehiko scolded the two angrily on the spot. On the way back to the hotel, Jufei asked Ziyu, "Ziyu, I just plan to flicker Takehiko, and see if he can agree to the 20% ratio. Why did you suddenly turn your face with him?" Ziyu smiled slightly and said, 20% is obviously lower than the lowest price he can afford, so no matter how you talk to him today, he will not be able to agree to this ratio. If you really want to force him, you must give him enough pressure. Jufei asked, "Do you have any good ideas?" Ziyu said, "You call Maki Takahashi, saying that you plan to sign a contract with him tomorrow, but before signing the contract, you have to talk to him about the details. The time is set to be tomorrow morning." Jufei asked, "How do you say?" "It's so decided." "Give them a contract?" "No." Ziyu said indifferently, "I plan to sign the contract, but the details have to be finalized. We can just find a reason and say at that time. There are some details that need to be discussed again, and I can move the signing date later. Right?" While speaking, Ziyu said again, "If you let the wind go now, Takehiko will definitely be very anxious. If not tomorrow, he will lower his posture and take the initiative to talk to us again." Jufei nodded and said, "Okay, then listen to you, I'll call Maki Takahashi." Maki Takahashi received a call from Jufei. When he heard that the Su family was about to sign a contract with him, he was so excited. Later, while arranging his staff to prepare for tomorrow's signing ceremony, he let people go out and told the whole of Tokyo that the Su family was ready to sign with him. This news immediately spread among the Tokyo business elite. Countless people called and sent messages to congratulate Maki Takahashi, because they believed that once the Takahashi family and the Su family cooperate, the Takahashi family will surely surpass the Ito family and become the first family in Japan. Takehiko also received the news very quickly. He was still angered, but after hearing the news, he almost went out of anger. He did not expect that as soon as the news came out, the Takahashi family would become a hot target. Now, the entire Tokyo city is beginning to chase Maki Takahashi, who regards Maki Takahashi as the future richest man in Japan, immediately let Takehiko realize the meaning of Ziyu's previous words. If the Su family united with the Takahashi family, he would definitely not have a bright future. If this were the case, the Ito family seemed unscathed, but actually suffered heavy losses. In the past, he was able to equalize with the Takahashi family, but if this cooperation is lost, the Takahashi family will quickly leave him behind. At that time, all the aura on him will be robbed by Maki Takahashi. The invisible loss is almost immeasurable. Takehiko, who was extremely bored, shut himself in the room and thought about it all afternoon. In the end, after nightfall, he reluctantly made a decision and called Su family to try to talk again. "If it doesn't work, I will directly agree to the 20% cooperation terms of the Su family." At this moment, Ziyu and Jufei had just finished eating in the revolving restaurant on the top floor of the hotel. After the two returned to their rooms, Ziyu was going to take a bath first. At this time, the doorbell rang, and she saw from the LCD screen that her brother was knocking on the door, so she opened the door by hand. Jufei stood at the door, holding his mobile phone, and said with a smile, "Ziyu, you are a god." "Takehiko just called me." Ziyu leaned on the door frame and asked with a smile, "What did he say?" Jufei said excitedly, "He means he is willing to consider our proposals and conditions, but he still hopes to have a face-to-face talk. What do you think?" Ziyu said, "I think it's okay. Call him back and ask him to come to the hotel to talk to us early tomorrow morning. If the talk is good, we will cooperate with him. Maki Takahashi won't be there. Let's talk again. If the talks are not good, we will go directly to sign the contract with Maki Takahashi." "Okay." Jufei said eagerly, "I'll call him back." As soon as Jufei's voice fell, 4 black-clad ninjas suddenly rushed down from the ceiling of the hotel corridor. Ziyu and Jufei hadn't had time to react, they were already subdued. Ziyu roared in horror, "Who are you?" One of the masked ninjas said coldly, "Miss Su, I'm Mr. Ito's subordinate." I have something to do with you, so please cooperate. What? Ziyu and Jufei were both dumbfounded. Ziyu was horrified, and thought to himself. Takehiko just called and said that he was going to negotiate with them again. Why did he send ninjas to them in a blink of an eye? Could it be that his renegotiating is false and the kidnapping is true? Ziyu hurriedly blurted out, "You people, is there any misunderstanding in this? We are just about to renegotiate the meeting with Mr. Ito. What are you doing?" The man grinned. "Ms. Su, ask what you should ask. Don't ask what you shouldn't, just walk with us. We won't kill you, but if you want to resist, or use some tricks if you do, I'm sorry, I will let you two die in Japan." Ziyu realized that something might be wrong, and blurted out, "You people, if it's about money, you can speak as much as you want. No matter who you are instructed, I can give you double or even triple 4 times the price." The man sneered and said, "Sorry, we ninjas always pay attention to credibility, so I ask Miss Su and Mr. Su to cooperate." Having said that, he immediately winked at the 2 people around him. The 2 men immediately took out 2 special handkerchiefs from their pockets. A large amount of ether was spilled into the handkerchief. Before Ziyu and Jufei could scream, they were tightly covered with a handkerchief. Immediately afterwards, the smell of a chemical potion puffed up the nose, making the 2 of them immediately unconscious.